Hi guys, Lori here. I'm here today to do the top 10 reads that I hope to complete by the end of 2020. Now, this is a mix of books that come out in 2020 and just books that I'm like really want to read. Most of these books I don't have physical copies of yet because they're not even out yet. But I figured I would share this list and I'm going to try to be a lot better with actually reading these in a timely fashion, which has been my problem the past couple of years. So, thanks to my Inks and Wonder Planner, I do actually have a list where I'm putting them. That way I know exactly what I want to read. And I have a pretty impressive list. You guys will have videos for all of these upcoming, but just for me, it's a little bit easier to go to this page and to start checking books off. So I do have 10 reads, and the first one I'm going to chat about is the newest book by Mackenzie Lee, and it is the third book in her series, and it is The Noble's Guide to Scandal and Shipwreck. In her series that she has historical fiction. The first one followed Monty, the second book followed Felicity. I really enjoy these books, and I love how they really are, in some ways, very historically accurate. And I love how they deal with topics that aren't always addressed in historical fiction. But I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for this one because I didn't think we would be getting another book in the series. Basically follows another son of this family that you don't know, that they are unsure of. So I'm really excited. And this book comes out in, I think it comes out in May. I think it was at like late. I think it comes out in May or April. But I'm really excited about it, so I hope you guys will check it out. And it's high on my list, as you can see. The next book that is high on this list is Where Dreams Descend by Janelle Angeles. This is a book that I actually got at New York City Comic Con last year, but it comes out in June. That is why it made this list. The way that Alexa Loves Books pitched this book to me, it was like Phantom of the Opera meets The Night Circus. And that's kind of like the feel that I'm getting. And I haven't, that just sounds so cool. I love Phantom of the Opera and I love magic and I love competition. So I'm really excited to dive into this read. And I'm going to make it probably one of my early reads in 2020, even though it comes out so late, because I really would love to give this book some early press. So I'm really excited, and that's why this book has made this list. The next book that I'm going to chat about in this video is Keeper of the Lost City's Legacy by Shannon Messenger. In 2019, I started this series and I really have been enjoying it. At the time of this filming, I have read up to Lodestar. Nightfall is high on my 2020 TBR as well, but I'm really hoping that I can catch up on this series by the start of 2020. It is a really rich fantasy series that I'm really enjoying. It is so complicated, so much fun, and if you're looking for a series that might keep you as captivated as Harry Potter is, I might actually recommend the series. It's a series that follows elves, but it's so much more than elves. It follows this girl named Sophie as she comes into her own powers. There's a huge cast of characters and a story that keeps on expanding and expanding and expanding. And I really hope in early 2020 I'm able to catch up on the series and then begin the long wait for more books. So once I complete this, I will have been caught up to date on this series, and that is why this specific book made this list. The next book that I'm going to chat about in this video is Five Dark Fates by Kendra Blake. One of my subtle goals for 2020 is to just try to complete series, and this is one series that I'm dying to complete because I really do like this series. It's just a rich fantasy series that focuses on female characters, female friendship, and sisterhood, and it's such a cool magic system. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to tackle this book in early 2020 because she is coming out with a new series in 2020 that I would love to be caught up on her pre-existing work and maybe even dive into her backlist a little bit, because there's quite a few series of hers that I haven't read yet. So, but definitely to complete this series would be a great check off my list. The next book that I'm going to chat about in this video is Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. This book was actually on my 2019 top 10 list, but I didn't actually wind up reading it because I had to read Sight Witch first, which is a very quick read that I liked, didn't love. But I'm really hopeful that I can dive back into the series because I really do like these characters and I really cannot wait to see what happens. I've had this book for a while, so it's high on my TBR, and I really hope that I'm able to get into it in early 2020. I am unsure if this is the concluding book in the series or if we're getting more, but I am really curious to find out what is happening to some of my favorite characters because I really do love the entire cast of all these characters in this book. The next book I'm going to chat about is the newest book by Sanaya Manan, and this is a contemporary spin on Beauty and the Beast, and it is called Curses and Kisses. And this book does come out in February, which is perfect right in time for Valentine's Day. I am unsure if this book has any magic in it, but it just sounds like a perfect Beauty and the Beast retelling. And Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite stories to retell because I think so much stuff can happen with it. I really love Diplomat Rishi when I read it. Haven't read any of her other books, but I'm hoping that this book will just capture my attention. I'm really excited for it, so hopefully I like it. And I did get this at New York City Comic Con, so I do have an arc of it, and it is high on my 2020 releases. The next book that I added to this TBR was another con read that I got from New York City Comic Con, and it's The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. This is another political fantasy book that I'm really excited for. I don't know much about it and I don't want to know too much, but I know it follows these two characters that wind up having to team up to wind up saving their kingdom. One is an assassin and one is the apprentice to the assassin, and it just sounds really cool. I've sometimes struggled with Melissa De La Cruz writing, but I was really excited for this book. I heard about it at BookCon last year and I just never got around to getting a copy of it. But when I started New York City Comic Con, I figured I would give it a shot, and I'm really hopeful that I will really enjoy this book. Recently, I've been reading a lot of court intrigue books, and this book has definitely piqued my interest. Another New York City Comic Con read that I wound up adding to this list was Kingdom of Black by Marie Lu. This was another book that everyone wanted at New York City Comic Con, and I was lucky enough to get an early copy. I have a feeling this book comes out in March or April. I couldn't find the publication date on Amazon, but I feel like it comes out in March. I'm really excited for this book. It follows the Mozarts, which I love music. I'm a theater teacher, and I always look for books with like a subtle music twist to pass on to my students who like that stuff. So I'm really excited for this book, and it sounds super interesting and super compelling. So I'm really hopeful that I'm able to read it in early 2020. The next book that I added to this list I was trying to read from my list, is Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Aurora Rising. I read it over the summer and I really, really loved it, and I cannot wait for the sequel. I don't know if this is going to be a duology or it's going to be a series, but overall, I was really impressed with the first book, gave it 5 stars, and I really love this cast of characters. It had a little bit of a heartbreaking ending, so I'm curious to see what they do in the second book in the series, and I'm just really excited. And this book comes out, I think, in May. I think it came out right before BookCon last year, and I think that's the same publication date that it has again. But again, another book that I'm super excited for. This was another surprise read from New York City Comic Con, and it is Incendiary by Zordaiba Cordova. Zordaya Cordova wrote really good witch novels, and this is a new witch series that's being published by Disney. I think it comes out in April. The cover that I have, the art cover, is so pretty, and I'm really hopeful that I will enjoy it, and it just sounds like a really fun witch novel. And I have a really, really bad thing. I collect types of books that I like to read, and then I never wind up reading those types of books. So witch novels and books about librarians are on that list this year, and I really hope that I'm able to tackle quite a few this year. So yeah, that's my thoughts on why I added this book to the list. And a bonus book that I added to this list as I start knocking books off is Finale by Stephanie Garber. It's a sequel or a conclusion to a series that I'm dying to complete before the end of the year, and I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to do it. Let me know in the comments what are some of your top 10 books that you hope to tackle by the end of 2020. I know that it seems like so far away, but these years go by so fast and our reading lives go by so fast. So let me know what are some books you're hoping to tackle by the end of 2020, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another video. Bye, guys.